So when last we met, the agents were taking part in their first official investigation for the Knights of Victoria, investigating what at first was assumed to be a run-of-the-mill vampire attack. You met with Inspector Felix Underwood of Scotland Yard at the scene of the crime and followed a trail of silk-like thread several blocks away, leading you to the mouth of a well that led to an underground tunnel system that connected to the sewers. While investigating the well, you heard a blood-curdling scream coming from a nearby construction site. The party split up, with the men confronting the spider-like humanoid creatures who were attacking the construction workers, as the ladies explored the sewers, discovering two more of these creatures hiding in the darkness within.
Thank you for recognizing me as a man.
You're welcome. Not a robot.
Not a robot.
While both parties lost track of one of the creatures they were facing, they survived to tell the tale, and as Moira was carrying her creature back towards the surface, he began to utter the phrase, "No hurt, no hurt." And that is where we left off last time. So, what would you like to do?
Take these guys back to headquarters. Have Hyde look them, or Jekyll look them over.
Okay, so the men are up top. You've got a few bodies up there that are viable to be looked at. Moira has hers down in the sewers still at this point.
Charlie's actually carrying him with her big honking robot arm. Not robot, clockwork arm.
All right, sounds good. So you guys have got to figure out a way to get that body back up there.
Mm-hmm. Find our way out of the sewers first, I think.
Well, there's a manhole right by where we were at. So we should be able to hear everything that's happening down there, because if memory serves me right, the manhole was close. The manhole we were fighting next to was close to the manhole you guys were fighting next to.
Well, that was a well as well. So, but yes, there are manholes about, in between the location where you were fighting the creatures and where Moira and Charlie were located. So conceivably, yes, you guys might be able to kind of arrange a way to, meet up with them somewhere that might be more easily accessible.
Charlie, do you know your way around the sewers with your background?
I'd like to know if my arm is still jammed.
It is still jammed, yes. You're going to have to get somewhere where you can kind of jimmy with it, or if you've got some tools on you and you want to take the time to do it now, you can.
Well, I really want to get out of here because
Mhm.
I've got the heebie-jeebies. So rather than trying to get it fixed so that we can, shoot a little grappling hook out of it and haul ourselves up that steep incline, I'm going to see if I can rely on my streetwise background and recall all the times that we would, as little kids, run around in the sewers of East London and Southwark,
Sure.
Down under the clink and everything. So I guess I would be rolling whatever is streetwise. Was that a smarts and a +2 for that edge?
Oh yeah, you got that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I have a 7 and 5.
Okay. Yeah, that should be enough. You should probably be able to kind of maneuver about and find a manhole that would lead you guys up to the street level.
Okay.
What about?
Yeah. We'll either. Okay. What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I'm trying to decide if we will use one of those bridges, parts of the bridges to raft our way down the river of sewage out to the Thames, where it spills out unfiltered into the river.
Yeah.
But if my common knowledge suggests that, or my streetwise knowledge suggests that we're quite close to an accessible exit at street level, I could do that.
That out of the two would probably be the
Less stinky.
less stinky and probably the shortest route. Yes, yeah. There's plenty of places where, you know, and unfortunately with your arm is just jammed, so I don't think that that's really going to hinder you from being able to utilize it to open up a manhole cover or something like that. So you should be able to do that. I think the biggest issue is just going to be getting the creature out, who is conscious but hurt.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But he does not seem to be really strong enough right now to really fight back and combat you guys at this point.
Okay. And if I remember right, is he the one who is still bound up in the spider web?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess, Moira, this way. No. There's an exit out this way. Let's get out of here.
Is there a ladder? I hope there's a ladder. Is there a ladder, Chris?
Yes, there's a ladder.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, I guess we're gonna hoist him up and climb up the ladder and carefully not drop him, I guess. I hope
Sure.
we're strong enough.
Yep.
You're strong enough. You go first.
All right. Charlie, you roll in athletics.
Oof. That's not good. I got a 3 and a 2.
Okay.
I feel like I should just use a Benny.
You can. Yeah, you sure can. That's what they're there for.
Okay. Let's see if I can do that. Ah, even worse.
You can roll another. You can spin another Benny if you want. As many as you have, if you want to burn.
What's the worst that can happen if I die?
Don't say that.
Worst that can happen is that you might need them later.
Okay, I'm gonna roll again. Right, that's better. 6 and 6. So,
Oh, well, then you get to roll. Were both of those 6-sided dice?
no.
Okay, but one of them was, so you can roll the 6-sided die again.
Oh, that was a 1.
That's all right. That adds 2, so you got a 7.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to. It takes you a moment, you know, to kind of situate yourself and situate the arm and kind of coordinate things with Moira, but eventually she's able to get him up just high enough to where you can reach down and grab and then pull him out of the manhole cover. And then Moira, you don't have to really roll anything to get out of there. You can just climb up the ladder and you would probably be okay. The gentlemen, if you guys will roll notice for me.
I got a 6.
I got a 4.
I got a 3 and a 6.
And,
Oh, wait, I didn't do the other dice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got a 4 and a 5.
Okay. And if any of those,
And I got a 5.
and if any of those was it was an ace, like the highest number on the die, you can roll it again. So
That's me.
Yep.
Me too.
I got an 8. Wait, I get to roll again. It just keeps going.
yeah.
I got a 12. I get to roll again. All right, it stops now at 15.
Wow. All right.
On a 4, that's pretty good. 3 4s in a row.
Father Mapple, just so you know, you had gone back to Felix Underwood to kind of prep up the body of the victim to be taken back to the headquarters of the Knights of Victoria. So that's where you were last session.
Got it.
And you probably now are kind of making your way back to where you remembered where the well was that you guys had seen where those things potentially had gone down.
Okay.
Henry, with the role that you ended up getting, Bendigo Jack and Hieronymus are trying to gather up the couple of bodies that you can take back with you. And while they're doing that, you hear the sound of a manhole cover just down the alley and out on the street go ka-kunk, plank.
We go over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I thought something else was going to happen.
And then when you go around the corner, you do see Charlie and Moira with a body of their own. This one actually seems to be moving ever so slightly, so it is still alive.
Crikey, you guys managed to get one without killing him. That's amazing.
He seems to be either not wanting us to hurt him anymore, or perhaps he's in pain already. So I think we should take him back to the Athenium.
And then Father Mapple, if while you were back at the location prepping the body for transportation, the Inspector Felix Underwood, he arranges for a cart to be delivered to that location to load the body on a horse-drawn carriage to take him back to the Knights of Victoria. So there is probably room on there for you to stack a couple more bodies, which would make it a little easier to get them back to the Athenium.
Okay. Can I see the rest of the group? Yet?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. You would have just been rounding the corner just as they were kind of meeting back up.
Okay. Shipmates, what do you have there?
One of the creatures, we need to take him back to the Athenium. This one's alive.
There's room on the cart. Let's
Load him up.
pile them up.
We've got some bits and bobs of a guy that, of a couple of them. You want us to throw the pieces on there as well? Or just take
Yeah.
the one guy that's still breathing?
Let's
Dr.
it all-
Jekyll might
I say we take
might
two
be
or three of
interested
them.
in the bits. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, you have-
Well, I reckon if we
bag
can.
to put the bits in so they stay
Well,
together.
what they do have, what you guys have, yes, you definitely have bits and pieces of some of them. But
We should have some full guys because they were electrocuted.
yes, you've got at least two viable corpses there. One of which is the kind of partial mutated form, and then the other one is the fully transformed version. So you've got two good viable bodies there for sure.
Let's take
Bloody
that
hell.
two and the live guy. What'd you say?
Bloody hell. What happened?
What do you
Well, I
guys
can tell you this:
70?
the old man over here with the leg, he can shoot.
On a good day.
Yeah, well, today was a great day for you, mate. And my didgeridoo's half broken. I didn't do shit. I apologize.
Tomorrow. It'll be better tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we can hope. Well,
So,
I'll help you load
Charlie,
these guys up.
Have you interrogated this creature?
No, we brought him up straight away. Best
I
to
walk
get him
up-
to the lab.
I walk over to him and put my cane down right here on his chest and say, What do you have to tell us?
No hurt. No hurt. He's. Give me an intimidation roll.
Oh yeah. Is that persuasion?
No, there is actually an intimidation skill. If you don't have it, then roll spirit.
All right. Oh, you're asking for it, buddy.
Don't hurt him. I think he's in pain. I don't think he.
Oh yeah, you beat the shit out of him.
I got a five.
I'm just saying, I think he's not happy being the creature he is.
Okay.
Something's hurting him.
He is.
After I beat him up.
He is definitely scared, Henry, and seems to be scared of you at this point.
Good. So what do you have to tell us? Tell us something. Why were you down there? What were you doing?
Must go. Must go.
Must go where?
Home.
Where is home?
Under.
Has home always been under?
I thought that was just a ploy for Chris to get somebody to say underwear.
How about...
It almost worked.
Trying to think what I need you to roll here. It's persuasion. Give me persuasion.
Oh, that's my specialty. Here we go. Ooh, and I got a 10, and it's gonna keep coming, baby. No, 12.
Okay. No, that's good. That is at least one raise on that for sure. So 6. Yeah, that's a success and a raise. And you said, where is home?
Has home always been under?
No. Home less.
Ah. All right. And I take my cane up.
Bad lady.
Someone did this to you?
Bad lady. Take us. Hurt us. No go. No go there.
You telling us we don't need to go there, or you don't want to go back there?
I no go.
Well, I got some good news for you, mate. You're not going back there. You're coming with us.
No hurt.
That was a menacing.
No hurt.
All right, we're not gonna hurt you, buddy. All right, I take the cane off of him. Help him onto his feet.
Okay.
Shall we?
All right.
Let's take him back.
Head back.
Head
Okay.
back.
Yep.
You guys head back in the direction of Parliament, which takes you over the Westminster Bridge, and arrive to that little back alley that they told you about, where you would be coming in and out, dropping off culprits and equipment and stuff like that. Kind of the secret back entrance. There, you are met by a couple of orderlies from the asylum area of the Athenaeum, who are there to receive the bodies and the prisoner that you have. All right, what you got there? pointing at the one that is still bound and conscious. Oh, what you got there? What's that?
A homeless
The creature
bloke we found.
in the sewer. There were several of them trying to hurt us, kill us.
Oh, right.
Other people.
Billy,
These need to go to Dr. Jekyll.
Billy, get the chains. And the guy that's with him kind of walks just inside, comes back out a few seconds later, and he's got some chains that he ends up putting him in, binding his wrists and ankles, and bring him inside. You guys can accompany them down into the Athenaeum and into the asylum area there, and they take him directly to one of the interrogation rooms, which is the basic protocol so that he can be processed, and the bodies are dropped off at the morgue. So you have 2 viable corpses and then the victim from the initial attack that are being taken to the morgue. So what would you like to do at this point?
Well, given that most people picked up vampire killing weapons, we may want to reevaluate our supplies and weaponry now that we have an idea of things that we're fighting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, have you all recall when we came here meeting a woman in charge of things here? Maybe mysterious, strange, or was it all men?
It was mostly all
Mostly men. Now there was a woman that you did not meet that they did speak of, and she was the leader of the Assassin's Guild, Alice Liddell.
Just seems like to me that if it's not if what's causing these creatures, it could be in a base like this. It could be internal to our own organization. You never know.
Jump straight to an inside job, huh?
It's possible. You don't want to rule that out. I mean, look how much power and mystical and arcane arts this place has underneath it.
Don't seem very trusting of your employers.
Well, I've been around. I know
I think I want to. What?
I know the way the world works.
Sure you do.
The problem is we can't just go looking in the sewers because the sewers are infinite in size, and those guys could originate anywhere.
Maybe under the sewers is where he was talking about.
You could set a trap. Maybe try and lure him out. Or not. I know that I'm going to go get rid of this goofy prototype UV shotgun that didn't do anything. I'm going to get something with a little bit more kick. Maybe something that doesn't just, get real bright and make you look shiny. And then I think I'm going to head down to the morgue and see what they're finding out about these weird bodies.
Yeah.
Because if these are really spider people, I'm going back to Australia.
Yeah, I think it would benefit us to see what an autopsy turns up or any other investigation of the bodies or the bits and pieces.
Yeah, I'm going to head down there right now. Anybody want to go?
I'm in.
Grab
I'll
a
come
sandwich
along.
on the way? Yeah?
All right, so Benigo, Father Mapple, and Hieronymus.
Yep.
Let's go, Ronnie. Pops.
All right, so you guys head to the morgue, and just as you get there, you see Dr. Jekyll walking down the hallway and getting ready to enter into the morgue. The morgue is kind of set up as almost like almost a surgical theater, where it has several levels of bleachers that kind of sit along the outside for people to observe the autopsies. And Jekyll sees you and he says, well, I see we've already brought in some meat for me to look at. So I take it that you all would like to see what you brought in and learn a little bit more about it, yes?
Yes,
Oh,
please.
absolutely.
That's
yes.
correct.
Well, do come in, make yourselves at home. And he goes over to what looks like kind of an intercom system that has kind of like a little conical shaped device up against the wall. He pulls it towards him and he calls through that device for Abraham von Helsing, who ends up coming and joining him for the process of the autopsy. And the two of them kind of begin to prep the bodies and so forth. And then they motion any of you over that want to come and take a closer look. And Jekyll says, well, here, come. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you saw at the location, and let's look at the body first of the victim, and tell me what you discovered on site.
Well,
Do
he
you
was
remember?
dead.
Yeah,
Well,
I
he
was
was-
like,
Yeah, he was dead, and he had some bite marks on him. And if
But
I
he
remember right,
he had,
he had some
four.
down. Yeah. So we
Yeah.
thought it was multiple people, and somewhere down near his crotch. And I reckon there might have been one up near his neck.
Yeah, there were two up around the neck.
Yep.
The initial thought was this individual had been attacked by a vampire. Well, we know that now to certainly not be the case, because you have actually uncovered what it was that probably attacked him. And Von Helsing points out, as these wounds, while similar to a vampire bite, they are spaced too far apart for a normal human vampire bite. Vampires go for the jugular, which is indeed where the bite is located. However, the jugular on both sides has been pierced, here and here. Usually a vampire picks one side or the other, but in this case the bite is torn into both sides of the neck on either side of the Adam's apple. So, looking at the other creatures that you have brought in here, this matches up with the pincher style, the large fangs that are on this more partially mutated forms that we see here, and the larger pinchers on the fully mutated creatures that we see before us on the other table. While he has been speaking, Jekyll has been kind of investigating the wounds on the body of the victim. And he says there's also evidence of a toxin surrounding the wounds, something that is not present in a typical vampire bite, excuse me. This toxin, from the best that I can tell, and he has gotten a vial out and has done some mixing with some chemicals, and has held it up to the light, and the liquid inside changes color from red to like a bluish kind of color. This toxin, to the best of my ability, I believe would induce some sort of paralysis, which may be why the victim couldn't cry out for help. Did you hear anything as far as anyone around there stating that they had heard the attack when it happened?
Wasn't there the street kid?
Yeah, there was a street kid, but he was really not very helpful.
He wasn't hopeful.
Yeah, he said that it was dragons that had attacked this guy and flown off into the night. Charlie
right.
really believed
That was-
that.
It was Charlie's cosmic perception at play there,
Yeah.
or cosmic awareness.
You know what? I don't remember.
Not that no one reported that.
Yeah, you didn't get any reports on that, and from what Felix had said, that they were kind of asking around and trying to get statements from the locals, but nobody really seemed to have heard anything or seen anything happen. It had occurred earlier in the wee hours of the morning while it was still dark outside. Most people were asleep and so forth. So there's no evidence that anyone had actually witnessed the attack firsthand. Jekyll continues, and he shows the wound on the groin area and states that the inferior vena cava has been punctured as well. This is the area below the groin, and it has similar spacing to the bite marks on the neck. It does appear as though he was bitten by 2 separate attackers. Does that match with what you had found?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, the victim has been completely exsanguinated, drained of blood completely. If this had been a vampire bite and the subject had been fed a drop of blood from the attacker, he would have risen by now. A vampire is unlikely to completely drain a victim of blood unless he or she is intending on turning the victim into a vampire. He then begins to do some cutting on the body itself. And he starts, up at the chest area and opening the rib cage. It's a gruesome affair if you've never seen it before. But what makes it even more jarring is on the inside. The inside of his body is completely filled with silk. That silk webbing that you guys, were following about. So
they took out all the blood and filled him with silk.
Yeah, just about every orifice, or not orifice, but organ that could take that substance has been just filled with it, as though the blood had been removed and then the silk had been injected.
Doctor, could this be a egg sac of these creatures?
That is a definite possibility. Yes. We could look. Do you want to be in here while I do it?
I don't. You guys, this is getting really close to spider territory, and this is really starting to creep me out. I reckon I'm going to pop over to the interrogation and see if they're talking to the dude that's still alive.
Yeah, Bendigo, do me a favor, roll a notice.
Yep, right. See what I roll here. A 3 and a 1.
Okay. All right, good. Yeah. So you can fuck right off then.
Right. Listen, gentlemen, I really appreciated everything we've been through. I'm going to grab a bite to eat and see if they're talking to the other guy. Good luck. If you find spiders, light yourselves on fire. It's the only reasonable thing.
Maple and Hieronymus, you guys stay in there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So he begins, and actually, I'm going to have both of you guys roll notice for me as well now.
A 2 and a 3.
5 and a 2.
Okay. The 5, right as he's getting ready to kind of go in for it, you see in his lung area where the webbing is kind of encasing it a little bit, you see just a little bit of a ripple.
Doctor, stop.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I saw it. I think perhaps your deduction may be correct. There is something alive in there.
Do we have a containment area so that we can observe what happens? Or should we just go ahead and...
Just it is still within this chamber, and in between two sections of the bleachers off to the side, there is a smaller surgical area that is kind of what would be like a containment room for contaminated bodies. So yes, in answer to your question, he very quickly takes the table and starts to wheel it back into that area. And he says that he is going to don a protective suit and continue the investigation himself. And at this point, really, it would probably be best that he and Von Helsing kind of handle this on their own. And they have precautions in that room set in place, in case anything were to be released. The two of them should be safe, while they're there, but this may take a little bit of time to set up. In the meantime, he asks if you guys wouldn't mind taking the other bodies and putting them into the freezer off to the side. That also is a safe space to keep the bodies while no one is looking, so nothing happens to get out.
Will do.
Yep.
So, Henry, Moira, and Charlie, what are you guys doing?
I think I went to go watch the interrogation as well.
Okay, well, you can actually lead the interrogation. This is your culprit. And it would be under your jurisdiction to speak with him.
Okay.
What about Charlie and Henry? What are you guys doing? Are you either of you joining her or?
I think I'm.
Yeah, I'd like to sit down. Go ahead, Charlie, please.
Sorry. I think I'm gonna hit the streets and see what I can find out about the homeless population. If there's been any observation of people going missing, strange ladies around.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. All right, so we'll go to the interrogation room and play good cop, bad cop.
All right.
So he is bound, and he's hurt. Okay. I think he had suffered a little bit of burn damage. I think from your flame that you had erupted down there in the sewers. But I mean, he's conscious, and he is, instead of sitting at the table, which is where kind of a normal person would probably be seated, he has curled himself up into a ball and is in the corner of the room and just rocking back and forth, back and forth.
Okay. I think I'm gonna kind of get down on his level and get close, but not like not right touching distance, I guess. Can you tell me your name?
Name.
Do you know who you are?
No. Remember. Name. No.
Do you remember anything from before this happened to you?
Hungry. Weak. Lonely.
What can you tell us about the lady that you mentioned earlier? Describe her for us.
many arms like me.
Well, I guess we don't have to worry about our people then.
Like me now.
Mm-hmm.
Human face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ah. And he's like touching his face, and he feels the teeth that are jutting out of his face. Teeth like me. More this. And he's pointing to like you see on his arm, like he has not transformed completely. But he has this like hard, almost bone-like armor that is starting to form on his arms. And if you remember the more fully mutated creatures, they had that armor, like chitin armor, on their whole body pretty much. And his is still in the process of developing. Either of you guys have science?
No, I don't.
Okay, you can roll a notice.
I don't either.
Okay, just roll a notice, and you're gonna have to get a 6.
I did not get it.
Oh wait, I got a 4. Wait, I got a 4. I got a 4. Here we go again.
Yep.
7.
Okay, good. All right, so Henry, you had fought several of these partially mutated creatures up on street level. And they appear to be slightly more advanced in these stages than this creature is.
Yes.
Okay. So their armor was starting to form a little bit more, and they were in different stages of it, so you can kind of see that transitional stage between where this guy is and then the final creature, that is the fully transformed spider-like thing.
Does the lady live under?
No. Words. Words.
I take out my flask of whiskey and offer him a little whiskey.
He takes it like he recognizes that. He grabs it and
Easy.
Just chugs it back, and
that was too good.
Immediately vomits it up.
So I jump back from the vomit.
Make her roll agility for that.
No. Fuck you. No. Shit. Do you remember what the woman did to you to make you this way?
She make me. She make me.
Did she bite you?
No bite.
Use your words.
No words. It's like every time he tries to formulate words, they're just not happening. Like his brain is just not firing correctly. And it's really frustrating him. But he takes his hand and it's like he's grabbing something, and he goes, and he stabs the inside of his elbow.
Maybe they gave you a shot. They injected something into you. Is that correct?
And he kind of nods, yeah.
All right.
We want to help you, but we need your help. Can you take us or tell us how to get to the lady?
No go. Me no go. Bad lady.
Uh-huh.
Well, we want to stop her. And it
Roll-
would help if you
Roll persuasion.
persuasion. I got a 7 on the first one, and on the 6-sided dice, I got a 4.
Okay. Yeah, the 7's good enough. No hurt.
We won't hurt you. We want to help you.
Fix me.
We'll do our best. We'll take care of you.
I show.
Thank you.
All right. You take a Benny for that there, Moira.
Oh, yeah.
So he seems cooperative, at least for right now. That, you know, you might be able to get him to show you maybe where he's talking about now. Is it going to be reliable? Is his memory going to work? Who knows? But, you know, he seems at least willing to try. Charlie, you're out on the streets kind of poking about, yes? Why don't you use your street smarts?
Okay. Ooh. 7 and a 6, and I'll roll the 6 again,
Okay.
and I got a 5.
Okay. Now, have you kind of gone back to the area of the attacks?
Yeah, to the ones from recently. Back to Southwark. I'm gonna try to head over to a pub I know that is friendly to the indigent population. They have out their back alley. They throw the offal, and they sometimes collect the old plates that haven't been finished and share that out with homeless out back. It's called the pub is called the Haggard Beaver.
Okay.
Oh my!
We're going to spend a lot of time at the Haggard Beaver, I think.
It's not a fancy place, but
It doesn't sound like it. Sounds a little rough.
probably go around the back there and try to find some of the people out, you know. If there's anyone hanging about in the back alley there.
Okay. Chrissy, real quick, do you have any volume control on your mic at all?
Shoot. I don't know.
I'm having a little difficulty hearing you.
Okay.
Because she's inside the Haggard Beaver.
Okay, I can do a little test. Okay, wait, how does that work then?
Say something again.
Okay, I'm testing it. I don't know if anything has gotten.
Yeah, that seems a little better. Okay.
I'll try to speak a little louder. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's all right. Okay, yeah, so you're able to find a couple of homeless people, actually, back there in the back with the roll that you made. Just kind of camped out back behind the Haggard Beaver. And around a little fire pit that they've kind of concocted back there to kind of stave off the rain. It's still raining a little bit, but they've got a little sheltered area where they've been able to kind of keep the fire from getting too wet, and they're just kind of huddled about there, warming their hands.
Yep.
He kind of startled them just a little bit. We don't mean no harm, missus. Just trying to keep warm from the rain.
Jeff, is that you?
Charlie?
What's up, mate?
I haven't seen you around in these parts in a while. Where have you been?
Been in training. Been off to revolutions. A bit of travel here and there.
Oh.
You look like you've had it rough.
A wee bit, yes, Mum. But we help each other out as best we can, right, mate? Right.
Well, I'm glad to see you. I'm wondering though if you might help me out with an investigation. You're the eyes and ears of town now, and I'm wondering if you're plugged into the unhoused, I guess. I'm wondering if you know of anyone who's gone missing recently. People you used to see about, you used to hang about with in the alleys under the eaves, that you haven't seen in a while.
Well, people's going missing all the time around these parts. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. People come and go. Anyone you've expected to see? And rumors of people disappearing?
Well, can't rightly say for sure. But around these parts, there's been several of me mates that have just disappeared recently, yeah.
You know where they used to hang about?
Well, not too far from here, right? Is just down the ways a piece, just south of here, is kind of the warehouse district where they're doing all the construction for the underground.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a few of my mates that have just gone missing around that area. Nobody that I was real close to, but we're all passers-by, to one another. We say hello when we can, and there's a few of them that just are gone. We stay around a pretty tight little area. We kind of get used to seeing certain blokes here and there, but I'd say three, four of the fellas just gone. There's no trace. The other guy that's with him kind of speaks up just a little bit. And like, Billy told me he saw down one of the alleys there's a lady came up behind, I forget his name, Mick. I think they called him Mick. Came up behind him, jumped out of him from the dock in the alley, and he grabbed a hold of him and pulled him back into the darkness, and he'd just gone. But he said this lady just wasn't quite right. You don't want to know why she's not right, I guess. Just
Tell me more.
Well, I'll tell you more. If you want to know more, I'll tell you. Said this lady came out at him, and she had 4 arms, and grabbed hold of him with these 4 arms and wrestled him down, and then took him out of sight. And then he never seen him again. That was 2 months ago. Never seen him since then. Just gone. Now, I didn't see it myself.
It was me mate Billy, but he saw it, and that's what he said. I didn't believe him, but everything going around these days, you just never know what to expect. There's creatures all over the place, ugly things. I don't like them.
And that's the only time you'd heard of the lady?
That's the only time I've heard of a lady with 4 arms. That's right. If I'd heard of a lady with 4 arms, I think I'd probably remember that. Don't you?
Fair point.
Fair point, she says. Fair point.
Any idea where I can find that lady? You reckon down by the warehouse district?
I reckon down there, if she's anywhere, if she's been plucking people right and left over there, I suppose that she probably can't be far, unless she's just coming down there, you know, from somewhere else. But there's lots of places to hide down there. They've taken out a bunch of the old buildings. That's why we go there. All the buildings are run down. You can squat in there anytime that you want. And lots of nooks and crannies and lots of construction, and you can get down underneath the street and escape the rain if you have to. There's lots of places to hide, yes, Mum.
Oh yeah, that's where I'd go. Although I would suggest you don't go there anytime soon.
I've been staying away. I don't want no 4-armed lady coming out of the dark at me and dragging me off.
Say. Do you happen to know if she has any other distinguishing feature?
Other than the 4 arms, you mean?
Right.
What color hair?
He has a left cheek.
They are hanging outside the whatever beaver.
It's a mole right here.
It was dark in that alley. Billy saw this lady with 4 arms jump out, and he didn't stick around to really pay attention to what she was wearing.
I mean, who just wasn't wearing with 4 arms?
I've got to find her tailor. That's next. All right. Well, thank you for letting me know about this. I'm not sure if
You're welcome, Mommy. Wouldn't be able to help a fella out now, would you? I helped you out.
Of course, mate.
You can give him a little coinage.
Pull out a few bob for his trouble.
Okay. That's very kind of you, Mum.
Feel like you've gotten the information that you need.
I think I do.
Okay. We'll spin.
Before I head out, I'll pop my head, pop my eyes in, and talk to the lad what collects the glasses at the tables, and ask him to keep his keepers open for any 4-armed ladies or anyone inquiring about, where he can find some homeless people, and anyone inquiring to offer help or hire someone for day jobs or otherwise try to whisk them away. But that's pretty much all I would be doing.
All right, give me a persuasion then, please.
All right. Three and a 2.
Oh, come on, Charlie. What's in it for me, eh?
Well,
I'm sticking my neck out for you, keeping the eyes out. I ain't no snitch, unless the money's good for it.
Well, you know, I just so happen to have something I think you might be interested in.
Oh, really? What's that?
You know how you like to pop out the back alley and have a fag, cigarette, right? So what I say is, the less time you spend inside rinsing these glasses and drying them off, the more time you spend in the back alley enjoying your time off, right?
Right.
So I've got this gizmo that whirls a rag, right, as fast as you can catch a glimpse of it, and you just pop it into the glass, pop it into the next glass. In a jiffy, your work is done, and you can just pop out the back.
All right, roll another persuasion for me.
Oh boy, I'm not feeling very persuasive, but maybe he's well, okay, maybe I was a little bit. Well, I have a 1 and a 6, and a 6 is on the wild card.
Okay, roll that again.
2 more.
Okay. All right, so that's an 8. That's a raise on that, so that's good.
Okay.
All right. When can I expect this little gadget?
I'll bring it right over. Bring it over tomorrow.
All right, you got yourself a deal. Better work.
All right.
He says knowingly.
You've seen my gadgetry before.
All right, so we'll swing back to the Athenium, and Mapple and Hieronymus. Actually, pretty much everybody. The autopsy is still kind of ongoing at this point, but Von Helsing has kind of scrubbed out and has gone in search of you guys. And you can be, I imagine you guys were kind of maybe going back to check out. Bendigo, where did you say you were going?
Well, I was going to go to the interrogation room, but I got sidetracked when I went by the armory. I popped in there to see what kind of toys they had.
Okay. And then Hieronymus, I think you had mentioned something about trying to get new equipment as well, right?
I didn't need any. I think everybody else did.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, at some point during, just bandying about the Athenium, you run back into Von Helsing. He says, good. I'm so glad I have run into you. Please come. I've been doing a little bit more thinking about these creatures. Just so that you know, these are something even I have never seen before myself. And come with me to the library. Let me show you a few things. And he leads you back to his library. Goes over to one of the bookcases, pulls out a couple of old tomes, and opens them up on one of the tables there in the library underneath a green lamp. And he says that there are several mythological creatures that would be considered to be similar to what we are seeing here, but nothing in my memory that is specific. But there are myths from across the globe that are spider-centric. The first that came to my mind when I saw these things is the ancient Greek legend of Arachne. Are you familiar with Arachne? Anyone?
Sorry, mate. No, I don't know how to read.
Anyone heard the name?
I mean, I've
My
heard of it.
character might have, but I haven't.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, Arachne is a Greek legend that tells the story of a Lydian maiden whose weaving skills rivaled that of the gods. She competed with the goddess Athena, and upon defeating her, Athena flew into a rage, and out of shame, Arachne hung herself, but was brought back to life by Athena as a spider, so that she could continue to weave beautiful tapestries as an immortal spider. Now, this is only one of many stories that I recall. Here in this book, he pulls out another one and he flips to a page in that book. This one is quite literally leather bound. It's soft bound leather, so it's real kind of floppy, and looks as though the binding on the back has kind of been sewn together. Very primitive in nature, and the paper, is a very thick parchment and looks like it's almost been painted on, and a lot of the information is really pictorial rather than actually physically written out in any known language. This, and he flips to a page that has a creature that looks similar in nature to what you guys have brought into the Athenium. This is Anansi, an African trickster god from the Ashanti religion, who is a champion for his people and has a distaste for outsiders. Now, this would, in our circles, be considered a god of sorts as well, of the African traditions. Very little outside of this just being a trickster god is unknown, and whether or not this was a living creature or not, we do not know. But very similar to this, there's another trickster spirit called Iktomi, which is a Native American god from the Lakota tribe. He's a shapeshifter that can take on many forms. And then we have the Tsuchigomo, a Japanese race of spider creatures that disguise themselves as beautiful women who eat travelers along the road. Now, one thing that we can take from all of this is that the majority of these myths that are here at my fingertips are not what we would deem to be localized, as far as something that is here in England and in London specifically. So whatever these things are, I think they may have come from outside in some manner, because we have never seen anything like these before. And I told you when you came to my library just the other night that if it is not in my library, it probably doesn't exist. Well, the first thing you bring me is something that I would not have believed existed. So congratulations on that. You have perplexed even me. And Charlie, you can be kind of rounding back in at this time and joining the group. So what are your thoughts? Where do you go from here?
So, Professor, in your knowledge that you've come across, is there a particular weakness that has been recurrent to these stories?
Well, most spiders, if we think of these creatures as just being the base form of just a simple everyday spider, what does a spider fear?
A boot?
A boot, yes. Anything else?
Fire.
Fire, yes. I think it would be safe to assume that these creatures would be afraid of fire. Do you have any evidence of that in your interaction with him so far?
Yes. We saw it firsthand down in the sewers.
Then I would think fire would be the best weapon against these creatures. At least from what we know of the biology of the spider itself and what you have already discovered in your investigation.
All right, thank you, Professor. I think our next step is to the armory.
Okay.
Yep.
Would it be possible that if this is not something that is indigenous to here, and it had obviously has come from somewhere else, could it have come on a ship or stowed away on something from elsewhere?
I would say that would be highly possible, yes. And exactly what that might have been, we do not know, but that is what we want to find out. Where did these things come from and what is creating them? That is your mission.
Yeah,
So
go on. Sorry, Father.
if it came from somewhere else, perhaps we should check points of entry, the docks or, the stations, trains or things like that.
It is possible, yes. Do you have any leads so far?
I've got a lead from some of my sources on the south end of London. And what you say about the docks sounds like the first place to start, down in the warehouse area of Southwark. There's a high number of homeless down there, and also reports of a lady with 4 arms snatching people.
This sounds almost like the Tsuchigomo.
Bless you.
Charlie, where did you find this information out at?
Well, round about the Haggard Beaver. I don't suppose a fancy
That
man-
establishment is not fit for clockwork men or men.
Don't go
Oh.
talking about the Haggard Beaver. It's been a trusted source of camaraderie for many years. And just because your standards may be a little higher, with your vast wealth, I don't want to come to blows over this. The Haggard Beaver is my people.
So what you're telling me is
Yeah, we lost Andy. There we go.
It's just a matter of time.
Let's hear this beautiful font of wisdom that he's about to lay on.
no. Oh no, let's keep on going.
So beautiful, Christy. Good job.
To the armory.
To the armory. Okay. And I'll kind of fast forward through this just a wee bit. John Merrick meets you in there and is able to set you up with a couple, 2 flamethrowers. So let's look and see what those will do for you. Here we go, flamethrowers. Okay, now, does anybody have a D8 in strength?
Nope.
I do.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Charlie, you can, and Bendigo, and Father Mapple?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So any of the 3 of you can wield this. And Hieronymus, what's your strength?
Mine's at a 6.
Well, all
I
right.
think.
Machine Man.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so you need a minimum strength of D8 to be able to wield it. So either Charlie, Father Maple, or Bendigo can carry these. So I'll leave that up to you guys. Who's going to man the fire starters?
Is there any type of like hellfire bullets or slugs that can go in pistols?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I
Yep.
will take
You
those.
can arrange that. So who's going to take the flamethrower? There are 2 of them available. Do you want both of them?
Well, I don't think I can dual wield, but I'd sure like to. Charlie, Father Maple, would you guys like to wield these?
What's the range on these?
All right, so
You have to be pretty close to the spiders.
It's basically a conical effect. You have to be pretty close. Yes. They do 3d6 in damage. And have 10 shots. And they can be evaded. Okay, so cone is an 18-yard long cone.
I'll take one.
Okay, so Charlie's got one. And then Bendigo, you were taking the other. Did I hear that correctly?
Oh, I don't know. If I got to get that close to a spider, Father Maple, I'm all right if you take it. I might pick up something that's got a bit more range. Do we have any? How many kilometers can we shoot?
Nothing that goes kilometers. Sorry.
Have we got mortars? All right, I'll pick up something else. Now, Father Maple, if you want to take it, go for it.
I'll take it then.
Great.
Okay. And then as far as the bullets, for those of you that want to try to add... Okay, so are we talking pistols or are we talking rifles? So Hieronymus, yours would be pistols, yes?
Mine would be pistols, yeah.
What's the damage on those currently?
2d6s plus 1.
Okay. So you'll be able to do 3d6 plus 1.
Okay. What are we calling those? Just like hellfire rounds?
Yeah, we'll call it that. That's good for me.
What kind of guns do they have that I could grab? Because I don't actually have one, I don't think. Or do I need to buy one?
No, you can certainly check one out. Now, do you have shooting as a talent?
I do.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah.
I have marksman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got marksman as like a buff, and then I've got shooting as a D10.
Yeah, as far as pistols go, the general issue that they usually will put out is going to be what would be considered like a 38. It's a police revolver. Okay. There's a range of 10, 20, and 40. Damage of 2d6. Rate of fire of 1. 6 shots. And the rest of it, I don't think we need to worry about. So, but yeah, same thing for you. If you want to load that with the Hellfire ammo, then that would bring you to 3d6 plus 1.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep, thanks.
Do I have time to run home?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna run home real quick while they're doing all this weapon shopping. I find the London to be a little cold. I want to put on a thicker coat. It's reinforced too, but also want to fill my kind of clean the whiskey, the flask a little bit, and refill it after that incident. And there's a light bulb that I want to grab as well that I can attach to my cane.
Okay.
I forgot.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.
While they're doing that, I wanted to see if we could take the creature down. I'm going to take the creature, have someone come and get him and take him to the hospital and treat him as much as they can.
Okay, and that can be done there on site.
Okay. Right. I mean, that's why I'm at the infirmary or wherever they put weird creatures in pain.
Yeah, you can heal one of his wounds, which will get him up and ambulatory.
Okay, I will do that. He's probably got a pretty good head wound from the rock I dropped on his head.
Probably.
Will they happen to have like a little vial of kerosene that I could use? That I could take with me so I could like pour a little bit on my boomerang and light it on fire in case I need to. Wing it at someone?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to get me can I get 3 little vials of that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So kerosene. Cool, thanks.
I'm gonna rummage around in a couple of the bins that are off in the corner under a table to see if I can find some bearings. Just some little, things. I've got a spinny device I've got to work on at some point.
Right. Now you also have to fix your arm too. So you can take this time to do a mechanics. Is that one of the skills? Or is it repair? Repair.
I've got repair. You want me to take a look at that arm for you?
You can take a look. I've got repair as well.
Okay. So what you can do, Bendigo, is you can assist.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay. And let me find that here real quick. There's a particular...
So you think it gives her like a +1 or something, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, my pleasure. So while we're figuring this out,
Yeah.
Tell me more about the Haggard Beaver. Sounds like my kind of place. They got some real unsavory characters down there.
Oh, a bit of a rough crowd.
Oh yeah, I
Lots of
imagine.
lads from the docks.
Oh, I imagine.
They pull a good pint, though.
I might have to go check it out. Do they have a good fish and chips?
Oh, do they?
Probably the best.
Mushy peas, and oh boy.
A full English breakfast. Oh, I could go for one of those. Sausages, eggs, beans on toast. Huh? Yeah.
I got it figured out. Okay, so in order to do this, it's called support. Okay.
I would like to support your repair.
And so what you're going to do, Bendigo, is you're going to roll repair and say that you're going to support her in that. So go ahead and make that roll.
Okay, I'm going to support her in a repair. I got a 5 and a 4.
Okay. So your 5 adds a +1 then to what she rolls.
All right. I rolled a 10 and a 2, and the 10 is the top.
Okay, cool. Then you roll the 10 again.
Okay, and that one is 6.
Okay. So you certainly succeed in repairing the arm. And with the ball bearings that, you had grabbed for that other thing, perhaps maybe that gives you an idea of how you might be able to improve it.
All right.
And I'll kind of leave that up to you as far as, maybe what comes to mind. You can kind of think about that a little bit if you need to, but you're able to kind of enhance that ever so slightly as far as at least the mechanism that shoots. Okay. So what? Okay, let's do this. When we decided you're kind of more winging them rather than firing them, right? Because you don't have the shooting ability, correct?
Right. It's a little more like one of those cats.
Mm-hmm.
She's a catapult.
I've got one back here somewhere. So what's the damage on that?
Yeah, good question. I don't know that we set up stats for that.
Oh, okay.
What else do you like on your English breakfast?
Pretty much anything, blood sausage. That's all right. I like a cup of tea, 1 lump of sugar. Milk goes in before the tea, of course, because I'm not an animal. I like baked beans on toast. I like eggs. I like regular sausages. I like bacon. I like blood sausage. I like Yorkshire pudding. That's always delicious. A biscuit or two. I wouldn't turn that away. A little bit of gravy on there. Yeah, it'd be all right. Pretty much any kind of food you put me, I'm probably going to eat it.
All right, so your slingshot does a range of 4, 8, and 16. And it's normally a strength plus D4. Rate of fire 1. And what I would do then with the raise that you got on this is you can do a strength plus D4 plus, and what did you end up rolling? It was a 10, 11 with his addition. Is that right? So when you re-rolled, what did you get? Do you remember?
I rolled a 10 and a 6.
Okay, so you got 16. Okay, so I'm going to say let's do strength plus D6.
Okay.
Plus 2. Okay.
Is that just what it is, or is any of that temporary?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So you have improved it to that. Okay.
Very good.
All right. Everybody have their accoutrement then at this point?
Yep.
Okay. So what are we going to do now?
I'm going to get some breakfast.
It's like we need to go to the docks.
Oh, right, that.
Moira, what are you doing with your little creature?
Well, I took him to the infirmary or hospital, I guess, wherever we would take creatures like that who need help. And I don't know if there's anyone down there if I can talk to, or if I should just plop him in a room and lock the door, maybe give him a little morphine or something to take the pain away. And I guess I have healing. I haven't rolled for it or anything, but I can kind of ease his pain.
Okay,
maybe.
well, yeah. Why don't we do that? I mean, in the time that everything else was taking, you can be kind of tending to him. So why don't you go ahead and make a roll to try to help to heal him then?
Okay. Oh, that wasn't good. Okay, I got a 2 and a 5, so I got a 5.
Okay. Yeah, that should be enough to like I said, bring him up, to where he's
nothing else.
ambulatory. Yeah.
Calm him down so he kind of goes to sleep, but he doesn't roam around and fight people or whatever.
Okay. Are you planning on taking him with you down?
Well, it sounded like everybody got the information we needed, and he didn't really want to go. And Game Master kind of said it might not be reliable. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to leave him to sleep, lock him in his room, and head down to the docks with everybody else.
Okay. All right.
And I've already got some bullets, and I've already got a fire starter and elemental manipulation, so I don't have to grab anything else.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, so we're heading down to the docks. Is that correct? All right.
Yep. And I say we set a trap.
Do tell.
Well, I think one or two of us need to basically act as street urchins and look for work, possibly. That word get around that you're willing to work for anything, while the others are kind of in the shadows. I say this because it's not going to be me that does this.
I suppose I could do it. Henry, you want to join me?
I would love to.
Right. Let's go.
We're off.
Okay.
So I should be able to stand back because I have a built-in microphone. So I should be able to stand back and hear. Plus, I have my far-sighted power.
What's that noise?
That's an airplane.
Ah, that's very loud.
Well, Bendigo's in looks like a Nazi Germany camp, so it could be a K-47 flying over.
It's the streets of London, mate. One moment. I'm going to replace that. Oh, it's going to take me a minute.
That's okay. It's okay. So I think, yeah, if we can do it in a spot where I've got some clear line of sight, I should be able to hear and see everything going on.
Okay.
And then the rest of us will just wait to pounce when something happens.
Well, if you guys want to be down, I mean, the thing is, there's no way for us to really communicate other than yell at each other, right?
Yet, if these spider people come, I expect you guys to be there immediately. You do understand that, right? I have 3 vials of kerosene. I will light myself on fire. Then grow a 4th arm. Or a 3rd.
Maybe Bendigo's not the one that needs to be looking for work.
There you go. Now he's down by the docks.
You're not planning on shooting, are you? What weapon are you using right now? The flamethrower?
Me? No. No, Father Mapple's got that in Charlie. No,
What do you
I've got a pistol with hellfire bullets and a boomerang that we can light on fire.
Now, in order to disguise yourselves as homeless individuals, you have this gigantic tank on the back of you, Father Mapple, that is really going to be a huge hindrance if you decide to walk around with that.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm trying to be in disguise. I think I'm just hanging back while these 2 guys are the bait, right?
While
Time or nighttime now, or is it evening, or
yeah, it's getting to be early evening now. The sun is just starting to set just beyond the London Bridge, as you can see there behind Bendigo. And the docks are still kind of hopping right now. You know, the end of the workday, is upon us at this time, so people are now kind of heading back from work, but it's still kind of bustling in this area at the moment.
Right, Henry. What do you reckon we do? We need to draw a bit of attention to ourselves, but we can't oversell it.
What do you recommend?
Oh, I think maybe we be hitting people up for money as they go past. Tell them some sort of a sob story. I ain't got nothing. Got no family. I'm not even from this town. Can you spare a little something so I can eat tonight? I'm starving. I just need some sort of comfort. Huh?
Hey, Kurt, you're just old.
I'm old and my leg is,
Yeah, you could just be a bum.
yeah, I can look like a bum, and I got the old coat on, so, and the cane. I'll just cover up the nice rabbit top of it here. Yeah, so let's split up,
Yep.
keep an eye on each other, two different sides of the street, and make our way around.
Okay. Like I was saying, there are people that are just kind of just passing by and so forth. So if you want to busk them as they pass, you're welcome to try to do so.
Excuse me, Governor. Governor.
Roll a persuasion.
Oh, shit.
Oh gosh. Okay. A 3 and a 2. I'm gonna use a Benny. Let me spend one of those real quick. How do I?
Just
How do I
you click
just
on
drag
the
it off?
Benny and then drag it off, and then wherever it lands, just click on it again and then hit delete.
Okay. Okay, it's not letting me delete it. But anyway, it came off my thing.
Okay.
Let me try this one more time. Okay, I got a 3 and a 1. I'm gonna spend another one. Because I have a -1 on my persuasion. Okay, I got a 2 and a 1.
All right.
I'm gonna spend one more. I got a 1 and a 4. So I have a 0 and a 3. So that's as good as it's gonna get.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. He pretty much, and everybody that's around that area just kind of takes a wide berth around you because they pretty much see it coming, and they know this guy's going to be asking me for money, so they just skirt off to the side and act like they don't hear you.
Governors, anybody got a copper? I'm hungry. I don't have friends here. I don't have... Excuse... Sir, I know you saw me, mate.
Yeah,
Mate, you just... Ma'am?
no luck.
I guess
And on
I'm just
my
gonna
side,
be...
I'm just
Henry. Yeah. If you,
I'm just going along. I'm not talking. I'm just holding up the cup.
holding up the cup, roll a persuasion there as well.
Regate him of tales from the sea.
Yeah, I could. All right. I rolled an 8.
An 8. Okay. Holding the cup up, you get a couple of individuals that drop coins into your cup as they pass. They don't say anything to you. They just drop a couple of coins in there.
And while I'm doing that, I'm running my left hand along the building, and I keep touching my face along the way because I'm taking the dirt from the building and just kind of, dirtying myself up as I continue my begging.
Okay. All right. And you guys kind of continue to do that for a while. Henry, you end up with about 16 pence. Working it for about a half an hour or so. And there's other individuals that are homeless that are kind of bandying about as well, and trying to work the crowd. Most of them are not doing well either. They're just trying to make whatever they can.
Can we roll a notice to see if we see anybody out of the ordinary or acting suspicious?
Yes.
Okay. That would be Mike, Charlie, and Mora,
Sure.
and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I didn't hang around though in the street.
Where are you hanging out?
I think I'm going to do a little exploring down by the docks, like the actual water area, and kind of look for some entrances to underground.
Okay.
Or maybe in the alleys as well, just kind of.
I got a 6 and 5.
Okay.
I got a 1 and a 4.
4 and a 6. And a 6. And a 3.
Okay. Moira, go ahead and roll yours too.
And that's notice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just didn't hear. Ooh, that wasn't good. Nope, that was bad. 2 and a 1.
Okay. Charlie. Based off of the description that you got of this woman, with the forearms, pretty easy to pick out in a crowd for sure. But you see a woman that goes up to a street vendor that is just selling fruits and vegetables and so forth. And really, this individual was kind of already starting to pack up their cart for the night, in order to kind of turn in. But this woman kind of ducks out of an alley and quickly kind of goes over. She's wearing a large coat that is draped over her shoulders. And you see a hand kind of come out very quickly from that coat and drop some money, and the person hands, like a little box of food to her, and you see her grab it very quickly and put it underneath the coat, and then she looks right and left very quickly and then scuttles back into the alley.
It's the scuttling that tips me off, I think.
Yeah. And she obviously is very paranoid, and is really hunched over and really trying not to be seen.
Right. Am I able to make eye contact or wave down one of my companions to let them know that I'm gonna give chase?
Perhaps, yes. Why don't... You're kind of like halfway in between Bendigo and Henry. Father Mapple, where are you, and where are you, Hieronymus?
I'm back with Hieronymus, where we're kind of trying to keep an eye on the whole scene.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So Mapple, Hieronymus, Bendigo, and Henry can all roll notice to see, if they catch your symbol or signal.
I got a 4 and a 1.
We got a 2 and a 3.
I got a 2 and a 3.
Great.
I got a 5.
Over here! Over here!
Look up here! Look up here!
Look up here! Look up here! Hey! Hey!
You!
Hey, you guys!
Henry, you do see the motion. What in the hell? Oh, nice. Yeah. Henry, you see the movement, and Charlie kind of darts. Are you gonna make chase?
Right. I've been under an arch in a portico, kind of in the shadows, watching these guys. But I'm gonna head out as soon as I signal.
Okay. So you see the signal.
Yeah, I start limping along after, and if the chase goes on too long, I won't be able to keep up, but I'll do my best for now.
Gotcha. Okay. So Charlie, you're gonna need to roll stealth.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming you don't want to be noticed.
Right. Okay, 5 and a 6.
Okay. And is the 6 the wild die?
They're both six-sided die.
Okay, so roll your 6 again.
4.
Okay, so you get a 10. So you are able to kind of keep pace with her without any issue. And Henry, you're far enough back where you probably don't have to roll stealth. You can keep an eye on Charlie and just follow her as long as you can keep an eye on her. She is, of course, being stealthy, but you know what she looks like, and I don't know that she's necessarily really trying to really particularly stay hidden from you, but stay hidden from her quarry. So you dart in and out of alleys. She sticks completely to alleyways until she gets to an area not too far from the docks. And if you'll bear with me a moment here, I'm going to get to the right spot. Okay, so you end up just off of an area in the warehouse district called Randall Road, which is, it just lies beneath a raised area of what is becoming the underground near Waterloo. And a lot of the buildings in this area have been kind of condemned and are not currently in use. And she has to get on to Randall Road to get to her destination. So she hangs really close to the shadows in that area and then goes into one of the buildings. And you can see that she kind of digs into her coat just a little bit and comes out, and it looks like she unlocks a door and then goes in.
Do I see that too? Do I notice them coming around?
From
roll another notice, or do I see?
Yeah,
I'm
you can
down
roll a
there?
notice to see, if Charlie's wave, and then potentially
That
follow.
was a 6 on a 6-sided and a 2. So I rolled. That was my regular die, not my extra die. So
And was
did I
the
roll
six,
that one again?
if it was the top number, yeah.
It was.
Okay, yes.
Okay. And got another 6.
Yeah. Anytime you roll a
I think
top
I
number,
noticed.
anytime you roll a top number on any
Either
die,
die. Okay.
you always will re-roll that because that's an ace.
I definitely noticed because I got 2 6s and a 5.
Okay.
And a 2.
All right, so yeah, you can be following along with Henry back behind. So yes, Charlie, you do see her go into one of the buildings.
Okay.
What do you do now?
Try to get into the building behind her.
Okay, all right. So Moira and Henry, you guys kind of peek around. You see Charlie heading towards that doorway that the lady went into. And then do you want to try to break in quietly?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty used to picking locks if it's a basic,
Yeah.
basic,
And
off the strand model.
do you have thievery?
Why, yes, I do.
Okay. Then roll thievery.
All right. One and a 5.
1 and a 5. Okay. So the 5 should do it. You get down and get to the lock, and I assume you're probably using a part of your mechanical arm to kind of get in there. Is that right?
Probably just a regular old pick, but I
Okay.
am right-handed, and that is my mechanical arm, so maybe.
Okay. All right. So you get inside there and just click and just expertly open it up. It's a pretty easy lock to kind of get through. So you open it up and just push on the door ever so slightly and just lets out just a tiny little creak. But you're welcome to go inside if you want.
Yeah, this is feeling a little too easy. Knowing how spiders work.
So are you going in?
Is it dark in there?
It is dark, yes. But not so dark that you can't see, once you get inside. I mean, it's dim, but there's enough. The windows on this particular unit are kind of covered in like a brown paper, so it does cut out a lot of the street light. But there's enough of a glow just inside that front area, where you can kind of see inside and see what's in there.
Okay. I'm going to prop open the door and proceed to enter.
All right. This whole area of town, just so you guys know, since they are in the process of constructing the underground, it's covered in dirt from the construction of the railway, and it's definitely a seedy area of town. The main floor, as you go in, I'm going to have you roll another stealth check for me.
3 and a 1.
Okay. You step inside, and the floorboards in here are very weak. And as soon as you step in, it just a big creak as soon as you walk in. You know not to step there again, at least, but you're going to have to be very careful moving forward from this point. So it definitely alerts you to that. But from your vantage point, you can see that the main floor of this store, it is a former, it looks like maybe a butcher shop. Its main floor is just in shambles. It seems though there hasn't been much activity in here for years. It's a small shop, and the reason why I say it kind of looks like a butcher shop is there are meat hooks lining the ceiling, and the smell of decay just hangs in the air in that room.
Great.
Henry and Moira, what are you doing?
Are there other, just a real quick look, are there other entrances besides this one, other entry points?
Does not seem to be. Since they are building this like underneath the underground area that actually comes out to the Waterloo station, so there's like a bridge before it goes down underground. So this is like under the bridge. They have completely blocked off the backside of this building, so there are no back entrances to this. The building itself butts right up against the base of the bridge.
All right. So I say we probably, if he's in there, we should go in quietly behind her. Or I will. You want to, Moira?
Yes.
All right. We go in quietly behind her.
So all three of you need to roll stealth.
Okie dokie. I'm not so good at stealth because of my leg.
Four and 5.
Got a
One.
3 and a 6. So I'm gonna roll the 6 again.
That's good.
I got a 1 and 3. That 4 and 3 don't go well together.
Now, Moira, since you rolled so well,
Yeah.
you heard that little creak
Yeah.
that Charlie set off like as soon as she walked in, and you see Henry going right for that, and you just ever so slightly nudge him off to the side, so you help him just a little bit so that he doesn't, alert any more, than perhaps what has already been alerted.
Okay.
So you guys see the same scene, that I had described earlier with the meat hooks and the dirt and just a complete shambles in this room. What about the other three gentlemen? What are you guys doing?
Would we have seen Henry take off after Charlie?
That's possible. You can roll a notice there, all three of you.
A 2 and a 2. I'm gonna use a Betty.
Oh, 6.
I had a 3 and a 6, rolled the 6 again, got another 3, so I have a 9.
Okay.
I
That's
have a
cool.
7.
Okay, cool. So you the two of you guys for sure, Maple, at least you do see Bendigo and Hieronymus then kind of turn and kind of follow. And you guys have a little bit of difficulty trying to kind of keep up with them as they're kind of darting from alley to alley, but eventually you're able to just come out onto the Randall Road just as Moira and Hart are walking into a building. So you just barely catch them as they're walking in, but you can see where they went. So you can certainly join them. And then you'll have to roll a stealth as well to enter.
Stealth.
6 and 2.
5 and a 2 for stealth.
Got a
3 and a 2 for stealth.
10. So I had a 6 and a 2 and rolled a 4.
Okay. Same kind of deal there. You, Hieronymus, you see one of those floorboards that's just kind of up just a little bit, and Mapple's about ready to set his foot right on top of that, and you just kind of go dunk and just kind of push him forward just a little bit, and he misses that as well. So all of you are in the main room of this old butcher shop at this point. What do you want to do now?
Is there a back room? Or stairs or cellar door?
Roll a notice.
Are we all in the same room together right now, like near each other?
Yep.
Right, guys. What
Roll
are we
a
doing
1
in
and a
here?
6. I'm gonna roll the 6 again.
Okay.
I got a 3.
Okay. So 6, 7, 8, 9. All right.
9.
So yeah, you kind of poke around a little bit, and you find a doorway that's just off from the main counter in the butcher shop. There's a definite door that goes back into another room, but then and that's open. It's just kind of an open doorway. The door's been taken out of there. There's another door off to the right of that is a stairway that leads downstairs.
Going downstairs, I guess. I'm gonna go try that door, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. And it is unlocked.
Okay. Carefully open it up. Do I need to do stealth again?
Yeah, probably.
Sorry. Ooh, 2 and a 3. I think I made too much noise.
2 and a 3. Yeah.
2 and a 3.
Yeah. That door is really creaky.
Sorry.
And then who got the highest? Did anybody else roll notice? It was Moira, right? That just rolled notice, correct?
Just now?
Yeah. Everybody else.
Just her.
Everybody else roll Moira as well.
Ooh, I got a 4 and a 6. So we'll both of those again. And then a 2.
10.
I got a 5.
I ended up with a 9 high. I rolled a 2 and a 6, and then re-rolled and got a 3.
Okay.
4.
All right. Maple and Bendigo for sure. You guys hear, like Bendigo says, guys, what are we doing here? And like right after he says that, and Moira opens the door, both of you guys hear from below this like this thumping sound coming from below.
Boy, there's something else here. I thought I heard a thumping sound.
Yeah, me too. I think we've been detected.
My bad.
Right.
I kind of work my way to the front of the group and have the flamethrower ready there at the open doorway.
Okay. All right. And then there's stairs leading down, and it goes down into darkness, but you can see at the base of the stairs there's another door.
Let's check it out.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll start inching my way down there.
All right.
Doors.
get down to the bottom, check the knob on the door, and it's unlocked.
I'll open it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth again.
Didn't get it. Got a 2 and a 5.
All right. Yeah. There's some creaky doors in this place. So you open that up, and again, dark in here, but there is some ambient light down here that's coming from down the hallway. So you can kind of see that the floor in here is all kind of like a stonework down here, and it's gritty, grimy, a little slimy from the look of it. There's a certain gleam and glisten that comes off of the floor, and you hear that thumping sound again coming from off to your right, just inside that doorway. And you can see just a little bit of a flicker of like maybe torchlight or something in that direction to your right.
Can we just turn to the right and like look more intently in that direction?
Yeah, you'll have to kind of step past the doorway because the door opened out. So you have to kind of step into that hallway to be able to see around the door.
It's coming from this way. And I kind of take a step in and
as soon as you step in, you hear chunk right next to you, to your left. And reaching out of that is one of the partially mutated spider forms. And it reaches through what seems to be a set of bars and is trying to reach out and grab you, but you're just barely out of reach. But that hand comes almost right to your face. And that's where we'll leave it for tonight. So you're in the spider's den.
Getting scary.
That was scary.
All right. Well, that's all I got for tonight, folks.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. Thanks, everybody. Great to see you. Until next time around.
Okay. We'll see you next time.
Alrighty.
Have a good night.
Bye, everybody. Bye.